Welcome to another episode of the Focus and Bloom podcast. Today I have a very special guest who is going to be talking about all things personal branding, so stick around. Hola creators, I'm Yesenia Bocaneira, founder of Focus and Bloom Studios. I'm a photographer turned marketing strategist who took a leap of faith, moved over 3,000 miles away from home with one camera and one heavy suitcase filled with dreams. If you're a creative soul and dream maker, this podcast is for you. Here I share actionable tips and tactics on marketing, business, and mindset to help you grow and up-level your business with purpose and lots of joy, one action item at a time. Get comfortable and let's get started. This is the Focus and Bloom podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Focus and Bloom podcast. Joining me today is Steven de Cuba, who is a wedding and brand photographer and business strategist. He has all things to do. He's going to talk to us about personal branding. So, Steven, welcome to the Focus and Bloom podcast. How are you?
Hey, Jasenia, how are you? I'm doing great. I'm excited to be part of your podcast. So, thank you for having me. I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about personal branding. I'm here for it.
Awesome. We were able to do a little bit of catching up right before we start recording. And you are based in the Netherlands. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. So it's good afternoon for you. Good morning for me.
Yeah.
But we are definitely, and it's Friday when we're recording this. So I'm excited. So, all right, so today we're going to be talking about personal branding. And before we dive into that, can you tell our audience a little bit about you and what got you started in becoming a photographer and business strategist?
Yes, definitely. So first of all, my name is Steven de Cuba, but no, I am not from Cuba. I'm actually from Aruba. I was born in Aruba. I am half Colombian and half Aruban. Notice the accent. So I also live I was born in Aruba in 2016. I've moved to the Netherlands. So right now I am in the Netherlands. But honestly, photography for me started in 2012. In 2012, I discovered my passion for photography, and this was through my dad. My dad is also a passion photographer, and he started first with a camera, and then he bought a new one, and then the old one went into the closet, and no one cared about that camera anymore. And one day, I went there, I got the camera, I grabbed this camera, and I felt like, oh my goodness, I just had a baby. Look at this baby. So I got this camera and I was passionate. I was like, it was a fire in me that I wanted to explore this art. So at that point, I did all types of photography. I did events photography, sports photography, family photography, wedding photography, maternity, newborn, all types of photography. I was passionate and I got obsessed with weddings. It was like, I'm not sure, I think it was like that day that you cannot like, oh, the weather is bad, let's try it again tomorrow. No, like, like with a branding photo shoot, yeah, we can reschedule it. At a wedding, no. And I like that adrenaline and something about that day where two people are going to say yes to each other and they are going to get married and this beautiful family is starting, and that I got the opportunity to document this special day. For me, that was a big deal. So I told myself, okay, let's get deep into this industry. I remember that time I started my Facebook page, and it was in 2013 or 2014, I remember. And I didn't know what to do. I was just sharing photos. I was photos of the holidays with my family, some photos that I did, like weddings or perhaps maternity, family, and I was just using social media for the fun of it. I really didn't understand how to use it for business. But what I realized or what I've noticed is that people started to reach out. They started to like, they started to comment, they started to DM me. And there is where I discovered the power of social media. So to make my long story short, like this is where I started on social media, but it wasn't until 2016 that I moved to the Netherlands. And I think it was like the adult life that knocked on my door and told me, what are we going to do now? Because it was a passion. It was just like a side gig. It was like, it wasn't something real. But when I came here, I was living alone. I came here for my studies. I was an adult. I am an adult. I was like, okay, what now? And there is what this was the point that I told myself, okay, let's dive deep and really, really serious. Let's get serious about this. Let's start our photography business. And I did that in 2017. So it took me a year. But then a year later, I was named as one of the best wedding photographers in The Hague. I was featured in different magazines and different blogs and on television and on radio station. And I was like, whoa. And there is when I discovered the power of building a personal brand as a photographer. And one of the things that I always say that building a personal brand on social media is the most effective way to stand out from your highly saturated market so you can reach more people, attract more leads, and convert more sales.
I love that introduction. Oh my goodness. And as you were telling the story about the wedding and how you got into wedding photography, I am here like dreaming about it. I love wedding photography. I'm a wedding photographer myself, and I can
Mm-hmm.
totally connect with that, like that feeling
Mm-hmm.
of it's that rush of the wedding day, like
Mm-hmm.
how the energy and everything builds up towards
Yeah.
that ceremony moment, and then everything's sort of like a little bit more relaxed in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
it's such a, isn't it so fun?
I love it. I love it. And here's the
It
thing,
is
I also
awesome.
love about wedding photography that you have like a relationship with the couple. It's no longer like a client to photographer relationship anymore. I mean, you are there on this special day for about 8 to 10 to 12 hours. I mean, come on, seriously. There's a relationship there happening. And that, I think that was special for me too.
Yes, yes, and a majority of our audience here are photographers, so they can
Mm.
mostly post portrait photographers, so they can definitely relate with that that
Mhm.
opportunity of being able to connect and really build a good relationship with your clients
Yeah.
because, like you said, it's a really special day. So, and
Mhm.
and sometimes, many times, you know, couples book you like a year before, almost like a year, maybe 2 year before their wedding day. So
Yeah.
you have this chunk of time where you can build that
Mhm.
relationship. It's almost like dating.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, I loved how you segued into how you discovered the importance of building a personal branding, especially on social
Mhm.
media. So let's talk about that. So
Mhm.
what exactly is personal branding and who can benefit from personal branding versus, let's say, a business brand?
Yeah, yeah. It's lovely. I love this question. And here's the thing. I one of the things that I've learned as I started my business and grew my brand online is that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This is from the book of Starts with Why with Simon Sinek. He also has a famous TEDx talk on YouTube, so you can definitely search for it. But and he gives example like Apple with Steve Jobs being so innovative. He also gives example like Martin Luther King on how he led the civil rights movement. And right now we can take people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins. All these people have a strong personal brand that has made it possible for them to have a big impact in this world, but also to stand out from the crowd. Again, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And when I realized this, that I have the opportunity, like for example, if there's 5 different wedding photographers and I am in the middle, why would someone choose me out of all this competition, right? Why is that? And that is personal branding. And as I said, I believe that building a personal brand on social media is the most effective way to stand out from the crowd, to attract more eyeballs to your business, to convert more leads and convert more sales. Now, I don't believe there's such thing as only people, like perhaps only entrepreneurs or solopreneurs can have a personal brand. I also, there's always this misconception that people think that, oh, if you have a big business with like, or like a big company with over 30 people or over 50 people, you cannot make it personal. I don't believe in that. I do believe that you can also do it with a big company as well. Now you might think, okay, how do you do it? Well, what I've seen with the experience and what I've seen on social media, what other people are doing is like, how about you share behind the scenes of the work environment? How about you introduce like a group of people in your team and talk about what are they doing in the business to take you closer to your biggest mission as a company? Or I've seen people use companies, big companies use like the CEO, like giving a word or giving a speech or giving something like a weekly email, like in a newsletter coming from the CEO to the customers. Like there are way different ways that you can put a face on the company, because there's it is no longer, people don't buy product, they don't buy logos, they don't buy website, people buy from people. And this is how you create a personal brand. And I believe that you can do it on social media. Why on social media? Well, number one, it's for free. Number two, it is growing. There are more than half of the population on social media, and it is growing. And we keep on getting more platforms, more platforms. How about we start today, jump on it, and figure things out? I believe that everyone can figure things out.
I love it, Steven. This is wonderful. People, I hope you, if you are able to take notes right now, and hopefully if you're driving, then don't take notes. But this is so much value, and it's so true. People don't buy from business; they buy from people. They
Mm,
connect with people. I love the example that you brought of, if there are other five photographers and you're there in the middle, how can you stand out? And that's exactly the same thing. That's oh my gosh, I get, it's amazing. Yes, because people connect with people. And what is it that's going to make you stand out? How is it that you're going to connect with people? It's like when you go to a brand new school, you're not friends with everybody. You have that tight knit of close group of friends because you have that connection. And that's sort of the same situation. You're building relationship, you're building a connection, a personal connection with that potential client. And that's going to stand out.
exactly. And in my program, what I teach is how to do it on social media. Because right now we have different social media platforms that you can use for free. And what we do, the biggest mistake that most people make is that they think, let's use social media to sell. Sell, sell, sell. Look, sale 50% off, 20%
Hmm.
off, buy one, get the next one for free. Always, always, always selling. But let me ask you this: do you follow an account that is always selling and you're pumped to see all those posts every day?
I am
Probably
going to
not.
scroll past that.
Exactly. Or you unfollow them. You don't follow them
Yes.
at all. So this is what I teach. Don't do that.
Hmm.
Let's build a relationship with our audience online, and that is going to make the difference. And how do you build a relationship with your audience? You show up, you create content, you show up again and again and again, you create relationships, you start conversations, you reach out. That is it. And what we focus on is three factors: the know, like, and trust factor. Those three factors are the most important on social media, because before someone gives you their credit card, before someone pays you for your services or product, they have to know, like, and trust you. And even if
Yes.
they don't like you, it doesn't matter. You're solving their problem. But for sure, trust. They have to trust you. Otherwise, they won't buy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that earlier you mentioned figure it out, because and
Mm,
that's important because a lot of people feel very intimidated with
mhm,
social media because there's a lot of people on social media, especially in the past year with this
mhm,
pandemic. But, you know, some people feel that they're not yet ready to go out on
mm,
social media, to show
mhm.
up every day. And you know what? It's fine, figure it out, but you'll learn as you go and as you show up continuously, and as you start engaging with people, as you start asking what they like, as you look at your metrics and your insights to see what is resonating with people, whether it is one particular type of content or the other. And that's how you gain confidence too, in being able to show up constantly for yourself, for your audience, and be able to serve them from a place of authenticity.
Yes, yes. And you touched something really, really powerful there, that you said that a lot of people feel like they're not ready. And I believe that being ready is a choice. You always have that choice. And being, what, here's the thing, being ready, and I always know that when I say being ready is a choice, people look like me, what are you talking about? Here's the thing, that courage comes before confidence. Successful entrepreneurs have courage first before they feel the confidence of being ready. Because when was time ever perfect? When was it the perfect time to take that jump? You don't know. You did it, you look back and you said, oh, that was actually a good idea. But it was until you did it that it happened. So most people are not showing up on social media and they say, like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I don't think it's perfect yet. I don't think I am ready to do this yet. Well, you will never be ready, because being ready is a choice. And every single day you have the opportunity to look and make that decision. You know what? Perhaps indeed I am not ready. Perhaps I don't have that beautiful unbranded website. Perhaps I don't have 10,000 followers, which I don't think is even needed. It's not important, but that's a whole topic on its own. But being ready is a choice, and you have the opportunity to say, despite not having all things figured out, I am still going to show up. And I'm going to show up for my dreams. I'm going to show up for my biggest mission. But most importantly, I'm going to show up for my audience to serve them and let them know how I can give the solution to their problem. When you show up from a place of service, it really doesn't matter if you are ready or not. It's about giving the solution to your audience problem, and that's it. So that's my
Exactly.
pep talk right
Yes.
there.
Yeah. I love it. I'm feeling it. Totally feeling it.
Sometimes I can get really passionate about this topic. So you ask me, I will go on.
But that's the deal. That's the thing. Like, why are you going to, why would you even try to show up if you don't feel the passion behind what you're doing? You know,
Yeah.
if it's burning inside you, just show up with that passion. It's going to feel, I'm feeling the energy from across the pond here.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
I love it. Okay. So we're talking about, you know, feeling confident, getting ready, and part of that feeling confident and getting ready is showing up, but then there are many ways in we can show up, and one of them is actually putting a face to showing up, putting your face to the name. And that's a really big deal because people connect with people, like you said. So we need to put a face to the name. So you're a photographer. So can we talk about personal branding photography and how businesses, solopreneurs can benefit from personal branding, and like what are things that they need to consider when thinking about having a personal branding photography?
Oh, definitely. This I can talk about days about. I can talk days about this. But here's the thing. I know that some people that are listening to the podcast episode right now, they are driving or they cannot take notes. So I did create a PDF guide that is for free that you can download and go through the steps. I have written everything down for you to go step by step on planning your personal branding photo shoot. Now, I'm going to break it down right now, but just for the people that cannot take notes, no problemo, no problem. Go to stevendecuba.com/personal branding and you can download it for free. I will send you the link and you can put it in the description if that works better for your audience. All right.
Beautiful, beautiful. And just before you dive into that, I'll have all of these links will be in the show notes, so you won't be able to miss it.
Perfect. Thank
Okay,
you
go
for
with
that.
that.
So
Sure.
the first step, I would say, when you are planning your personal branding photo shoot, especially as a solopreneur, is to define your goal. Why are you doing a photo shoot to begin with? I remember when I first started that I was hiring photographers to take my photos as a photographer. I really didn't get that feeling of planning in advance, meaning I would just show up to the photo shoot, they would just take photos of mine, and then they will deliver the gallery, and then I have to choose what would work. But that was a broken strategy. So with that, I have learned that the magic happens in the planning and defining your goal. So what do I mean by defining your goal for the photo shoot? Well, the question is, why are you taking these photos? Is it because you're going to rebrand your website? Is it because you're going to launch a podcast and you need new photos? Is it because you need new photos to use on guest blog posts, or perhaps on your newsletter? Or perhaps is it that you are going to do a course launch? Why are you doing this photo shoot to begin with? And with that in mind, then we can continue. I see most people say like, oh, where do I do it? Which location? No, no, no. That will come, but that comes later. So the first one is to define your goal. The second one is to create a list of where you're going to use these photos. And why is this important? Because as a photographer, it's really important for us to understand that you need horizontal photos, that you need vertical photos, that you need square photos. It's really important as a photographer to understand where you're going to use these photos so that it makes sense. Because a vertical photo on Instagram story works perfectly, but a horizontal doesn't really work on story. So if you want to take a photo horizontally, hey, remember to take a backup vertically so you can make the best out of your photos. So from there, we will go into creating a mood board. That is step number 3, a mood board. And I always say that we can use Pinterest. I love using Pinterest because you can create a board. You can put it secret if you don't want anyone to see your ideas, and you can share this with your photographer. And this is super important because even as a professional photographer, I want to see what my clients have in their mind. And the only way that I can see this if they can create a mood board and say, this is what I want, this is what I'm feeling, this is where I'm heading. And as a photographer, I can say, aha, now I understand what they are thinking and how I can help their brand. So this is super, super, super important here. And also it gives you inspiration on more ideas on photos, what you can do. So from there, then we move to, okay, now we create a photo list. Must have photo list. So the first step was define your goal. The second the second step was to create a list of where you're going to use these photos. The third one was to create a mood board. And now the fourth step is to create a must have photo list, because when you go to Pinterest, you're going to be filled with ideas, with
Yes.
inspiration, and you're going to be like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. But let's take a step back and let's go back to the first step. What is the goal of this photo shoot? And having that in mind, you create a must have photo list. And then, of course, you can create a bonus photo list. So, like, that will ensure that you have the photos that you need and also some bonus photos to celebrate with. And then from there, then is where we start choosing your props, and then the location for your photo shoot, and then we plan the outfit. I believe that you should plan the location first and then the outfit, because I've seen many people like with doing photo shoot at the beach with high heels and a dress and beautiful hairdo, like gala. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. The location has to make sense with your outfit. So if it's an indoor photo shoot, maybe you want to do some photos in your kitchen, having a coffee. Hey, what type of outfit is going to fit in that location? So start with the location first and then with your outfit. And with the help of the mood board, is going to be so much easier to do it. So let's recap the steps. Number 1, define your goal of the photo shoot. Number 2, create a list of where you're going to use these photos. Number 3, create a mood board. This is perfectly done in Pinterest. And number 4, you put together a must have photo list. Must have with a bonus photo list. And then 5 is create a list of props. 6 is to choose your location. And step number 7, plan your outfit. And that's it. That is it. I would for the look for your outfit, I would stay away from neon colors or too much patterns or of all of that. I would stay away from that. Maybe pastel colors, like keep it really because here's the thing: if you have patterns or neon colors, our eyes, the viewer's eyes, is going to go to that and not to your face. And we want them to
Correct.
see your beautiful and gorgeous face. So that is my step by step planning on planning your personal branding photo shoot. Again, you can have the whole breakdown, and I have a couple of photo ideas that you can use, and a whole list of props, and a whole list of where you can use these photos. If you head to stevendecuba.com/personal branding, you can download it for free and you can get the free PDF guide as well.
Beautiful. That is amazing. That's a really great walkthrough of how to prepare and what things to consider when thinking of a personal brand session. And you even answered this. Like my next question was going to be like, how can we put this together with a marketing strategy?
Mm.
And like you said at the beginning, the magic is in the planning and the strategy.
Mhm.
Think about where and how you're going to use these images, and then from there move forward with the planning, with location and what and ideas and inspiration, so that everything feels like it's falling in place like a proper, like like a puzzle, and then you don't have to figure out, well, this photo doesn't match, it's pretty but it doesn't match, or it doesn't go with anything that I'm doing. So it's just there, so I this is really wonderful walkthrough. Remember, everybody, I'm going to put all these links on today's show notes, so you don't miss that out. And okay, so now that we have all of this beautiful, wonderful planning, what about feeling confident in front of the camera? So there's another level. We've done the planning. That's like, okay, but I don't know I don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. So what next? But I know I need to get photos.
That is something that I get. That is the one question that I get asked the most. Like, okay, Steven, okay, great. I know how to plan it, but I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. Now, I have to say something here because I believe that the same thing that I just previously said, where we're talking about wedding photography, the couple having a relationship with the photographer, I believe as a branding photographer goes the same way. You as the personal brand have has to have that personal connection with your photographer as well. So I believe that it starts with having a great plan, which we just broke down, but also a great relationship with your photographer. So when you have that relationship with your photographer, it it already removes like a weight out of your shoulder, because you're like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna connect with him, or I'm not sure if this is the best photographer. I'm not getting feedback. I'm looking great. Am I looking bad? Like, you start overthinking. But when you have a connection with your photographer, it's easier for you to connect with this person. So how do you do that? Well, you follow them on Instagram, you start stalking their website, you start looking at what they're doing. Perhaps you reach out for pricing, you reach out for more information, perhaps book a Zoom call. Like, I like to do this with my clients. If you want more support, here's a link. Book a 30-minute discovery call with me. Let's dive into the details of your photo shoot. And in the call, we will see if we are a great fit. Because if we're not a great fit, that is also right. I am okay with that. I'm doing you a favor by you knowing that we're not a good fit. Good. Go your own way right now. So the same thing goes to the entrepreneurs that are listening to this episode. Build that relationship with your photographer first. Have a great plan, because I think that feeling of, I don't know if I'm doing it right, I don't know if this is going to work, I don't know, is coming from a place of I don't have a plan. So we already broke down the plan. Go with the plan, build that relationship with your photographer. And I believe that is the most important thing you need in order to feel more confident on camera. And here's the thing: courage comes before confidence. If it's your first photo shoot, get it over with. And then you do another photo shoot in the next 3 months, and it's going to be better. And then you do another one in the next 3 months, and it's going to be better. Like, successful entrepreneurs they have courage before they have confidence. And confidence is built in the doing it anyhow and to putting yourself out there. There is where the growth happens. So That's another kick in the pants that I have for you.
Oh, love it. Yes. These are really wonderful tips and suggestions and ideas for photographers and entrepreneurs, because as
Mhm.
photographers, sometimes we forget that we also need to be in front of the camera every now and then because we are running a business. We need to build our personal brand. So it's important to acknowledge that. Now, I love everything you've said. Okay, so now let's shift gears a little bit as we start wrapping up this episode, which has been really filled with valuable information. So tell me, Steven, what are your favorite 3 tools that you need to use to continue rocking your business?
Oh, wow. That's so, how much time do you have? Like, I don't have 3 tools. It's really difficult for me to say 3 tools. But as we're talking about photography, I'm gonna approach it from the photography perspective. So number one, most people, if you're listening to this episode and you say like, I'm not a photographer, I don't have a professional camera, I cannot, I don't have I don't have the budget to book a branding photographer. I understand that. I take also my own photos with my phone with a timer. I create videos on IGTV with my phone. I do my course launches and I create videos for promotional ads with my phone. So the first tool that I would say that has helped me with photography is my phone. Of course, I have a professional camera, but that is not needed to get result. So this is from me thinking from a place of an entrepreneur that doesn't have a camera. My friend, you have a phone, use your phone. Number two is Lightroom mobile app. So Lightroom mobile app is a tool that you can edit your photos and it's free. You can the mobile version is for free. And this is available for iPhone and this is available for Android as well. Samsung, you can use it. So those two. And number three, I also have a Lightroom mobile presets, so a package. So I use my own presets. That what is a preset? Just like when you do Instagram stories, that you can do like a vintage filter, just like that. A preset is the same thing. Filter and a preset is like just synonyms. So I have Lightroom mobile presets that I use to edit my own photos so that my photos can be consistent with my branding colors. But that's it. So my phone, Lightroom mobile app, which is for free, and my Lightroom mobile presets that is called One Happy Island presets, is connected with Aruba, and I also have one preset for free that I'm giving away as well, that your audience can also download. So I'm giving two giveaways here, which is the preset is you can download it at stevendecuba.com/free presets. So you can just go there and you can download my preset. There's a video as a bonus, how to install it. There's a PDF guide, step by step, how to install it. And you can edit your photos as well. Listen, you give me an excuse not to show your face on social media. I give you the tools, I give you a kick in the pants, and I give you resources for you to make it happen. Give me excuses, I give you answers.
Love it. Yes, yes, and yes. Perfect. All right, Steven, and where, I know you just mentioned it, but where can people connect with you?
I like to make it easier for everyone. So you just have to remember my name, Steven de Cuba. And on Instagram, you will find me at Steven de Cuba. On Google, stevendecuba.com. On Facebook, Steven de Cuba page. Wherever you're at, I'm also there. And I also have a podcast. Guess what's its name? The Steven de Cuba's podcast. Okay. So you can find my podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or on my website as well, stevendecuba.com/podcast. I like to make it easier for everyone.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And we are going to be linking on today's show notes, focusandbloomstudios.com/show notes, all the good information that Steven has shared today, the links to his guide and the presets. So you'll be able just to click there and check it out. So Steven, thank you so very much for this really high valuable conversation. You've really been able to I think it's been very inspirational, but also very actionable, which I really love.
Mhm.
And this is definitely something that is my goal for this podcast, is just provide inspiration, but also actionable items to help people in their
Mhm.
businesses grow and Yeah, just go.
Thrive.
Yeah,
Love it.
rock it.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes. Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story and my knowledge with you, with your audience. I appreciate that. So again, if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram at Steven de Cuba. Let's keep on this conversation going, or just come say hi. I like to be in my DMs. Send me a DM, say hi. I came from this podcast, and let's chat about it. I love this.
Beautiful. Steven, thank you so very much. And everybody, thank you so very much for tuning in on today's episode. I will see you on the next time. Take care.